Morning everybody, and welcome to our general meeting for the month of September. And to those people that are watching online, morning to you, and hopefully we can entertain you for the next 2 or 3 hours. We'll see how we go. So leave of absence and apologies. An apology for the Mayor. Yeah, just noted. And any other, I don't believe we've got any other leave of absence or apologies. So we'll move straight on now, and I'd like to call forward Pastor Glenn to do our morning prayers. Thanks, Pastor.
Good morning, everybody. Deputy Mayor Jones, councillors, council staff, good to be here again. I enjoy coming up here, and I'm representing, of course, the ministers of the South Burnett, and I come from the Mergen Church of Christ. I was thinking about yesterday what to speak about today, and my brother-in-law, I was talking to him, and he'd been to Centrelink, and he said, went into Centrelink, and they have 2 security staff there to protect the staff from verbal and physical attacks. I can't believe that. Imagine what it costs to keep 2 security staff in every Centrelink office in Australia. And I thought, this is crazy, you know. However, the attacks on people and the disrespect for authority, I'm sure we're all well aware of it. And years ago, they took the rights of a lot of parents away. They took the rights of teachers away to discipline. My niece is a teacher, and recently one of the boys threw a pair of scissors at her. Fortunately, it hit her glasses, otherwise it could have hit her in the eye. The next day, that boy's mother came in and abused my niece because it must have been her fault for provoking her son. However, I'm sure at times that people are justified in getting angry. You know the woman in the Northern Territory that put the pie in the Chief Minister's face? Well, I'm sure she was justified because she's a real estate agent, and that's my former profession. And all real estate agents are honourable and respectable people. However, I was thinking about this and thinking, on TV about 2 years ago, I saw 2 schoolgirls fighting, and the teacher was frightened to pull them apart because she was frightened of getting sued by any girl she touched for assault. Can you imagine this? It's unbelievable, isn't it? So I thought, well, what do we say about this? And I thought, well, first of all, I'll look up a couple of wise sayings. Leo Tolstoy said, the sole meaning of life is to serve humanity. I thought that's what you guys do. That's what you people do, whether you're staff or elector of the council, that's what you're doing. Man becomes great exactly in the degree to which he works for the welfare of his fellow man. Well, I thought, yeah, that's interesting. Author unknown there. Thomas Jefferson, I'm sure you remember him. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created, and that's women, of course, all men and women are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Amongst these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. I thought, well, that's very wise, because the rights of us are protected by you. Mark Twain said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. I thought, well, that's very wise too. But what does God say about it? And I just picked out a couple of readings. Firstly, the 5th commandment in the Old Testament says, honour your father and your mother. Is that correct? I'm sure you've all heard of that. Honour your father and your mother. Okay? And then in Romans 13:1-7 it says this, let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. So whether we like our Premier, our Prime Minister, their governments, whatever, we need to respect them. Whether we agree with them or not, we need to respect them. So because God established those authorities. So therefore, I come here, whether I agree with everything you do or not is irrelevant. I respect you and the fact that you are doing what you believe God has called you to do, or the people have elected you to do, and we respect you for that. And it's sad, I think, that the respect for parents and teachers and for authorities and people elected to government and to federal or state or local government do not have the respect that they once had, and that's sad. So, take heart, because you will always cop criticism. I've been there, done that. I've been chairman of different committees, no matter what you do. The funny thing is if somebody criticises you and they say, well, why don't you have a go? Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Have you heard that happen? I don't want to be the chairman. I don't want to be the councillor. They won't do it themselves, but they'll criticise you. All right, but take heart, because you do a great job in serving your community, and I want you to know that for me personally, for my wife and family, and for a lot of friends I have, we respect you and thank you for putting yourself forward to serve our community. Let's pray. Lord God, we bring before you our Mayor Brett Otto, who has been ill, and we ask for your blessing and healing to be upon him. We pray for Deputy Mayor Gavin Jones, who's taken on the responsibility of chairing the meetings and the responsibility of Mayor in Brett's absence. We pray for all local councillors, the council staff, and the workers who serve our community faithfully and sometimes with little thanks. God, we thank you for them as they serve in all their roles, their various roles. We ask you to provide our mayor and councillors and the staff with reminders each day why they decided to dedicate their lives to public service and to use that commitment to encourage them. Lord, you have given them and the appointed council staff positions of authority here in the South Burnett. May each one submit to your authority and fulfil their roles with integrity, faithfulness, truth and confidence as they give of themselves to serve their community. Grant each one wisdom on how best to serve the people of the South Burnett. We ask this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you.
As always, Pastor, some very, very wise words. So thank you very much for your blessings, and hopefully we can live up to the expectations of our community. Okay, we move on now to item 4, and I'll hand over to Councillor Duff for the recognition of the traditional owners.
Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge country and the land where we meet this morning, the Waka Waka land, and acknowledge the elders both past, present and emerging. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Duff. Declaration of interests, councillors. I see we have a few there, and just reading them, I possibly may have to do the same. So, we're all there. Very good. I see that there. So the declaration of interests is in regards to item 15.1 on the agenda, fees and charges, transshipping fee. Mr. CEO, how do we've got a list of names there. Councillor Shoemaker, Councillor Duff, Councillor Henson, and no doubt I would, yep.
Yeah, Councillor, this came up at the standing committee the other day after you had to go up to the hospital for that function. The matter's been dealt with, Coolabunya's been dealt with several times, and there is, Councillor Henson's the only one who's slightly different because there was a change of circumstances, so his is a different resolution. So we can acknowledge, and we've preloaded it, so the councillors all raised again the potential for a COI. That matter has been dealt with, and unless there's a circumstance, so the resolution number where that was dealt with and voted in accordance with the legislation for the councillors to stay in the room. If there is a change of circumstance, please, by all means let us know, and we can deal with that today. But if not, we will log and record those 4 register of interests. Again, no further actions required unless there's a change.
All councillors comfortable with that from the advice from the CEO,
Yeah,
Councillor
thank you,
Henson?
Acting Mayor. Yeah, nothing's changed in my position.
All good. So we just move on there from the. Councillor Erkins, do you have Mr. CEO has raised an issue with what agenda item there, Mr. CEO? Sorry.
Would be the same one you declared at the standing committee with the sale of the real estate tender. Yeah, yep. Management. property management services for Nanango Housing Unit Complex, 15.3. That's the same one you raised at the...
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, so I do have a conflict in the management of the units in Menango. So
So-
I'll leave the
Yep.
meeting while that's discussed.
Yep, thanks, councillor, and thanks, Mr CEO, for picking that up. As it should be dealt with, if anyone else knows, we just deal with it up front, so there's no hidden agendas. That's good. So no other conflicts or declarations, councillors? Can we move forward? Well, the looks of that, all good. Okay, agenda item 6, the deputations and petitions, 6.1, and a petition requesting for a flying fox for the Benarkan Park, and it's there as presented, and the officer's recommendation is that the petition be received and referred to the Chief Executive Officer for consideration and a report back to a meeting of council. Do we have a mover? Councillor Erkins, seconded Councillor Potter. The petition's there. I think it's straightforward. It's just to be received. Go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. Item 7.1, minutes of the council meeting held on the 23rd of August 23, and the officer's recommendation that the minutes of the council meeting held on the August 2023 be received and the recommendations therein be adopted. Do we have a mover? Councillor Potter, seconded Councillor Duff. Questions, comments, councillors, out of that? All pretty good. We'll go straight to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. Notices of motion, we have none, which is fantastic. Business outstanding, 9.1. The officer's recommendation that the business outstanding table for the ordinary council meeting be received for information. Do we have a mover? Councillor Duff, seconder. Councillor Henson. Any comments there, councillors? Okay, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. 10.1, the Flynn electorate infrastructure priorities found on page 71, and the officer's recommendation that council nominate the following projects for the Flynn electorate potential infrastructure projects. And 1 is Mundubra Geelong Road, 2 Proston Boondoomba Road, 3 Mamarambi Gordonbrook Road, 4 footpath improvements Proston and Highsville, 5 Wandai Industrial Estate Stage 2 works, 6 park and recreational facilities upgrades Proston, Highsville, Tingura and Wandai, 7 drainage improvements Tingura, 8 tourism signage and 9 Barlil Weir advocacy role. Do we have a mover? Councillor Duff, seconded Councillor Henson. Councillor Duff.
Thank you, Acting Mayor. Yes, the next day after we had the infrastructure meeting, I got an urgent call from Colin Boyce's office wanting to get our list. So I actually copied the meeting agenda and I just hand wrote that we'd added Barlil Weir to that as an advocacy role, and they were most appreciative, and because they were right in discussions on it, so that it was a good list and they were very happy. So thank you.
Thanks, Councillor. Councillor Shoemaker.
Thank you, Councillor Jones. I was just going to propose that we add to that list the Boondoomba Dam black spot for a mobile tower, because they're regularly funded through federal funding. I recognise Councillor Duff may have already had conversations with Colin Boyce, but I think it should be added to our advocacy for that area anyhow, and I guess just seeking Council's approval to add that. I know the Boondoomba Dam is a popular tourism facility, and I know from a safety point of view as well, with lots of boats and things using the facility, that the mobile black spot is of concern in that area. And I know just from our own discussions about the operations of the kiosk there, sometimes the challenges we have with operating FPOS machines and alike. So yeah, just would be my suggestion that we add, with the leave of Councillor Duff and Councillor Henson, the Boondoomba Dam black spot. I don't know whether that should be mobile phone tower or...
Councillor Duff,
Happy
with
to-
your conversations around with Minister Boyce. Are you happy for
Happy
that?
to have that added, yes.
Yep. Councillors, any comments or questions around that being added? It's a wish list, Councillor Erkins.
I just a query on that. I was under the impression that we had done something out at the dams to improve the coverage out there.
Yeah, thanks, Councillor. We've put in Starlink for some of our needs, but Bunduma, I don't know if BP's the same, but Bunduma's certainly been on our mobile phone wish list for a long time. So yeah.
Alrighty. No further comments around that. We'll go back to the officer's recommendation.
Excuse me.
Sorry, Councillor Ancient.
Yeah, just a comment. Bunduma Dam, and I'd like to think it might not necessarily be exactly Bunduma Dam, but perhaps on the other side, where we go up that Manar Road, could be an option, like certainly be a comment that needs to be taken on board, because that Manar Park up in there is a huge tourist attraction as well. Thousands and thousands of people are up there this past week and past fortnight with school holidays, some 3,000 odd people. I think not just Bunduma Dam, but it needs to be noted that up on that western side, perhaps, of the dam, would be certainly, and whether that's achievable to solve that issue, but I think that needs to be noted.
Councillor Ancient, with those comments, do we Bunduma Dam and surrounding area?
Yeah, look, and I think it would fall into Minister Boyce's area perhaps better if it was advocated for over on that side. And I think, Councillor Duff, correct me if I'm wrong, with that Manar Road and going back towards Gayndah, and our boundaries there, just of course where Manar is. Whether that's achievable with a spot there, I mean, Richard Grimes is on that western side of the dam there, large property holdings over that side, but I think work in that spot could get a better outcome for everybody involved there. And if that incorporated that Manar area, rather than back this side, it may not service that area. So I think Bunduma Dam / Manar, perhaps Bunduma Dam, Manar districts and surrounds, yep, if everybody's happy with that.
Alrighty, so we've got that there as presented. The officer's recommendation that council nominate the following projects for the Flynn Electorate Potential Infrastructure Projects, moved by Councillor Duff, second by Councillor Henson, and they are listed there in front of you. If there's no more comments, we'll go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous, thank you. Okay, 10.2, the Christmas close down for the council. And you can see it there. And the officer's recommendation is that the committee recommends to council that 1, council closes administration offices, depots and library facilities on Friday the 15th of December 2023 at the following times for the purpose of allowing council employees to attend the staff Christmas function: Blackbutt 11 a.m, Kingaroy 12 p.m, Mergen 10:45 a.m, Nanango 11:15 a.m, Proston 10:45 a.m and Wandai 11:30 a.m. 2, council will generally be closed from 3 p.m. Friday the 22nd of December 2023 and reopen on Tuesday the 2nd of January 2024. 3, key skeleton staff are rostered on to undertake on-call and emergency work where required during the Christmas close-down period. 4, park staff and 1 tourism staff member will be required to work as advised through the Christmas period, with the exception of public holidays. 5, operational field staff will operate on a skeleton staff arrangement from Friday the 15th of December 2023 to Tuesday the 2nd of January 2024. And 6, council advise employees to use leave accrued, leave entitlements, example annual leave, toil, RDOs, during this period, with toil and RDOs being used in the first instance. Do we have a mover? Councillor Potter, seconded Councillor Erkins. This is just a routine thing that the council has done for years, and I can't see why it won't continue. So if there's no comments, we'll go straight to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you very much. 10.3, amendment to fees and charges, copy of rate water notice. The officer's recommendation that the 2023-24 fees and charges be amended to remove the $10 fee for a copy of rates water notices other than for current financial year. Do we have a mover? Councillor Henson, seconded Councillor Erkins. Comments, questions, councillors? Again, we've had serious discussion on this. Should be a tick and flick, so we'll go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. 10.4, the monthly financial information, and the officer's recommendation is that the monthly financial report, including capital works and works for Queensland, as at 31st of August 2023, be received and noted. Do we have a mover? Councillor Duff, seconded Councillor Potter. Comments or questions, councillors? It's all there. A good breakdown of everything there in front of you. All good. We'll go straight to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. 11.1 on page 121. It's the portfolio, infrastructure, planning works, construction and maintenance, water and wastewater plant and fleet. And the officer's recommendation that the South Burnett Regional Council officers scope and add future drainage and footpath works to the council's project list to be considered in future budget deliberations. Do you have a mover? Councillor Erkins, Councillor Duff, seconded. Comments and questions, councillors? Again, through a standing committee, we discussed this. So I'll go straight to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. 11.2, the bus shelter structures in Crawford and Cumbia. The officer's recommendation that South Burnett Regional Council consider the allocation of $22,000 for a suitable shelter structure in Crawford in the 23-24 Capital Works first quarter budget review. Do we have a mover? Councillor Henson, seconded. Councillor Potter. Again, worked through our standing committee meetings, had good discussion. Go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. 11.3, the 27-28 Regional Roads and Transport Group funding nominations. The officer's recommendation that South Burnett Regional Council nominate Memorandum Barkers Creek Road, Corndale Road, Kingaroy Barkers Creek Road and Cumbia Road for the 2027-28 TIDS funding as part of the future Capital Works program. Do we have a mover? Councillor Potter, seconded Councillor Erkins. Again, we've had long conversation. Go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. Okay, 12.1, the portfolio for community development, arts and heritage and library services. And the officer's recommendation that the South Burnett Regional Council 1, 2024 nomination forms be approved, and 2, the location of Australia Day Award ceremony be held at the Cumbia Hall on the 21st of January 2024. Do we have a mover? Councillor Henson, seconded Councillor Duff. Again, discuss this. Councillor Henson.
Yeah, thank you, Acting Mayor. Just some commentary from the locals in the Cumbia area. Absolutely ecstatic the fact that it's been mentioned to hold that in Cumbia in 2024, and I think I'd like to see, and I've mentioned before in this chamber, that love to see this council share that around in our towns and villages over the coming years for Australia Day. Important day in not just this region, but across our country. Thank you.
Alrighty, so we have the recommendation there that the South Burnett Regional Council 1, 2024 nomination forms be approved, and 2, the location of Australia Day Award ceremony be held at the Cumbia Hall on the 21st of January 2024. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. 13.1 on page 127. It's portfolio for natural resource management, rural services, agricultural innovation, compliance and environmental health. And the officer's recommendation that the South Burnett Regional Council adopt a transshipping fee of less than 100 head at $250 per annum and above 100 head at $750 per annum for the 23-24 financial year, and amend the 2023-2024 schedule of fees and charges accordingly. Do we have a mover? Councillor Erkins, seconded Councillor Potter. Any comments there, councillors? Go straight to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. 13.2. This is the transshipping reduction or transshipping fee reduction. The officer's recommendation is that the South Burnett Regional Council reduce the transshipping fee for cross livestock from $750 to $112.50 for the 22-23 financial year due to the number of cattle transshipped from the Coolabunnya Sale Yard complex. Do we have a mover? Councillor Henson, second Councillor Duff. Comments? Go straight to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. 14.1, appointment of Deputy Chairperson at the Local Disaster Management Group. And this is the Disaster Management, Waste and Recycling Management portfolio. And the officer's recommendation that the South Burnett Regional Council appoint a councillor as Deputy Chairperson for the South Burnett Local Disaster Management Group. So I guess we'll open up the conversation. Councillor Potter, you're the current chair, so I'll take any advice you've got.
Thank you. I would actually like to nominate Councillor Jane Erkins for this position, please, if she will accept.
Councillor Erkins, that's a yes. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Any other nominations? Make it very simple. That's good. I was the acting deputy chair, which I'm happy to hand down, and happy for Councillor Erkins to take that position. Okay. So I guess the officer's recommendation is that South Burnett Regional Council appoint Councillor Jane Erkins as Deputy Chairperson for the South Burnett Local Disaster Management Group. Do we have a mover? Councillor Potter, thank you. Councillor Duff, seconded. Go straight to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. 15.1. This is the portfolio for rural resilience, disaster recovery, parks and gardens, property and facility management, First Nations affairs. The officer's recommendation that the South Burnett Regional Council approve for sale by tender 142 McAllister Street, Mergen, Lot 1, RP 164438 by 1, entering into negotiations with the highest tenderer, and if the current market value of the property is reached, enter a contract of sale for the property, or 2, if negotiations with the highest tenderer does not result in a sale of the property at current market value, list the property for sale on the open market, and 3, prior to settlement, remove the section of footpath that encroaches the property along the southwestern boundary and relocate it to its correct location, being the adjacent designated access way. Do we have a mover? Councillor Duff, seconded Councillor Potter. We've had discussions about this. I think we can go straight to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. What's hiding around the corner, Mr CEO? There's got to be something. 15.2, sale of 4 Haley Street, Kingaroy to Ergon Energy, Energy Queensland Limited. The officer's recommendation that the South Burnett Regional Council offer the land for sale to Ergon Energy, being part of Energy Queensland Limited, on 1, contract of sale to be in accordance with 1, Section 236 of the Local Government Regulation 2012, 2, Queensland Government Land Transaction Policy 2021, and 3, SBRC or South Burnett Regional Council Disposal of Assets Policy. Do we have a mover? Councillor Erkins, seconded Councillor Henson. Comments? Go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. 15.3, Councillor Erkins. This is your one. Councillor Erkins has declared a conflict here, so I'll just wait for her to leave the room and we'll proceed. So, property management services for Nanango housing and unit complexes, South Burnett Regional Council 2324-01, and the officer's recommendation that South Burnett Regional Council enter into a council services contract with Tramit Proprietary Limited, trading as South Burnett Real Estate of the Nanango housing and unit complexes for a period of 5 years. Do we have a mover? Councillor Potter, seconded Councillor Duff. I think we've had discussion on this. We can go straight to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. Can we bring the councillor back in, please? Thank you. Didn't even have time for a cup of tea, councillor. 15.4. It's the sale by tender of lot 104 Kingaroy Burrendown Road, Inverlaw. And the officer's recommendation is that the South Burnett Regional Council offer for sale by tender lot 104 Kingaroy Burrendown Road, Inverlaw, lot 104 FY 1203 by 1, entering into negotiations with the highest tenderer, and if the current market value of the property is reached, enter into a contract of sale for the property, or 2, if negotiations with the highest tenderer does not result in a sale of the property at current market value, list the property for sale on the open market, and 3, that works up to $10,000 be undertaken prior to settlement to improve the saleability of the property. Do we have a mover? Councillor Duff, seconded Councillor Henson. Comments? Go straight to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. 15.5, update on Christmas tree costings, and the officer's recommendation that Christmas tree, garland and new decorations be purchased and a budget of $57,000 be provided from the 23-24 building asset restricted cash. Do we have a mover? Councillor Duff. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Henson. Okay. Comments and questions, councillors? Councillor Shoemaker.
I just wanted to confirm with the buildings and communities restricted cash, what that money is actually restricted for.
Manager Kerry or Mr. CEO, who wants... over to you, Kerry.
Through you, Acting Chair. So that building asset restricted cash is basically just sitting there for anything that needs to be used for those building community assets. Yeah, so it's not exactly specified that it has to be used for a certain thing or can only be used for certain projects, that portion of it. So yeah, it's just sitting there.
And how have we, like the last meeting we got an update, there was $100 and something for $1,000, got it here on one of my screens, in the restricted cash, 150 I think. How does that get banked? Like, is that the depreciation that's not used each year, or how is that actually accumulated?
Yes, so through you, Chair. So, yes, you're correct. Basically, it's come from prior years from unused depreciation that at that point in time, because we were in cash surplus, had amounts then put away restricted for future years for when it's needed.
Yeah, I'm a little uncomfortable about it because we are using restricted cash to purchase Christmas decorations. But I also recognise we've had long-standing conversations for the last 3 years about Christmas trees and Christmas decorations and how important they are to the community. I have had a look through your finance report very carefully. The only option I can see that we might be able to defer is the replacement of chairs from the Nanango Cultural Centre. That was still only $30,000 and it's still only deferring an issue. This really doesn't sit comfortably with me because I'm not sure this is our highest priority need. However, I do recognise the need to complete the project, and if we had have done more scoping and planning in the front end, maybe we would have been better informed, but I think this has been a bit of a project where it's changed. So in this instance, I have decided to support the motion, noting that it has the majority support of my colleagues. But yes, I am always very concerned about using restricted cash because we very rarely bank it. So I'm happy to support this, noting how important it is to our community. But yes, I am a little concerned about the use of restricted cash and drawing down that fund to around 70,000. Thank you.
Councillor Erkins.
I have to say that, you know, the amount is a lot of money. I know that decorations are expensive, but I would like to urge that we, as an organisation, make sure that the decorations that we have are looked after so that we can get maximum use from the decorations, because I do believe that in the past there have been maybe decorations that haven't been looked after so well. So if we can stress that, you know, they do cost a lot of money and we do need to, you know, look after them, make sure they're stored properly when they come down.
Councillor Henson.
Thank you, Acting Mayor. Yes, Christmas trees. Hasn't there been some discussion around these over our time? Important time of the year for a lot of families, of course, and I'm happy to have a question or notice that when was the last time a budget of this calibre was allocated for Christmas decorations, and approximately how long do these last? Taking in mind that there was some $30,000 taken off this allocation, and remembering in this chamber, and for the public out there, that $30,000, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but was allocated for Cumbia because of a tree which is not going to be positioned this year. They're staying with what they previously had done because of the positioning of it. So be well aware that next year there will be a Christmas tree come across this chamber again, possibly in Cumbia, and there could well be $30,000+ in a budget allocation to source that. So just questions on notice in relation to that, unless there's a easy answer, Manager Gary, but sorry. Yeah, won't take any more time in relation to Christmas trees, but just I wanted to bring that point across. Thank you.
I'll take that as a question on notice, Councillor, to bring back. This is not referring to the installation of any Christmas trees. This is just for the decorations of it all. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long, when they're out in the environment all the time, I'm sure that they don't last as long as what they would be if they were put inside on a tree inside all the time. So I think the staff do a pretty good job, and the importance of this, it's 57,000, and Councillor Shoemaker mentioned, you know, the restricted cash, and I don't believe any of us in this room like touching the restricted cash, but I think Christmas, as you touched on, Councillor Henson, I'm happy to support this simply because it means a lot to a lot of people across the region, and it is $57,000, but anyway, we'll just have to see how we go. Councillor Potter, did you have your lights on? No, you're all good? All right, any more comments? Okay, we'll go straight to the vote, and the officer's recommendation is that the Christmas tree, garland and new decorations be purchased and a budget of $57,000 be provided from the 23-24 building asset restricted cash. All those in favour? Unanimous, thank you. Okay, 15.6, management of reserve for Memorial Park, trustee lease and extension to Wandai Memorial Pool Facility, and the committee resolution 2023/1. That's there. No, hang on, sorry. The officer's recommendation is just as long.
Rather than read it out, just as presented.
You've got that covered, Mr. CEO. That wasn't going to happen. Okay, so the officer's recommendation is that, and you see it all written down there, and I'll present it as presented here in our paperwork. So do we have a mover? Councillor Potter, seconded Councillor Duff. You can see the recommendation there. If anybody needs time to read it. Everyone seems happy, so we'll go to the vote. That the motion presented as read is moved by Councillor Potter, seconded by Councillor Duff. All those in favour? Unanimous. 16.1, portfolio for tourism, visitor information centres, sport and recreation and commercial enterprises, and the officer's recommendation is that the South Burnett Regional Council provide a contribution of $25,000 to the South Burnett Western Performance Club Inc. for the purpose of the construction of an indoor arena on Lease Area B on Lot 174 on FY 803924, and subject to the following terms and conditions. A, the South Burnett Western Performance Club Inc. will enter into a grant agreement with the South Burnett Regional Council, and B, that the project will be completed and funding will be acquitted by the 31st of December 2024. Do we have a mover? Councillor Erkins, seconded by Councillor Potter. Comments? Councillor Shoemaker?
It's just going to note that this is a really exciting project and would welcome an opportunity to actually go and meet with the Western Performance Club and have a look at the work they're doing firsthand. I think reading over the report, the funds that they've been able to collect from multiple funding sources to actually build this facility, and then they're already investigating stage 2, is pretty impressive with the sand and another funding body. So I just think this is a really great example of council collectively working with other groups to really promote sports tourism and really promote sports and opportunities, really unique sports. You know, the Western Performance Club have got a long-standing relationship here in the South Burnett, and a wonderful reputation. And I just think this is a great opportunity for them to grow, and really just hope we can go and have a look at it, Councillor Jones, firsthand.
Absolutely, Councillor Shoemaker, and just to endorse those words, I can remember when they first come to council, they were chasing $60,000 or $70,000, and they were very proactive in the community, and they came back to us with $25,000, and yeah, absolutely fantastic. This group's been around for a long time and do wonderful work. Okay, so is there any more comments there, councillors? If not, we'll go to the vote. The officer's recommendation there that the South Burnett Regional Council provide a contribution of $25,000 to the South Burnett Western Performance Club Inc. for the purpose of the construction of an indoor arena on lease area B on lot 174 on FY 803924, and subject to the following terms and conditions. A, the South Burnett Western Performance Club Inc. will enter into a grant agreement with South Burnett Regional Council, and B, that the project will be completed and funding will be acquitted by the 31st of December 2024. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. 17.1, the portfolio for regional development services, community and social housing, and the officer's recommendation that the membership for the following members of the Art, Culture and Heritage Advisory Committee be extended until the 31st of December 2023. And, excuse me, the organisations there are presented. Do we have a mover? Councillor Potter, seconded Councillor Erkins. Again, we've had conversation. Any comments? Oh, sorry, Councillor Shoemaker. Yep.
Just looking at the 31st of December, I was wondering, is it worth, like, I know Councillor Potter's worked really hard to bring this committee together and really only just starting to gain momentum. Should we extend it out till the end of March or June next year? That will go into caretaker mode? Do you really want to be appointing a new committee at the beginning of the new year? Would you be better off just maintaining your committee until the end of this elected term? Is perhaps my question, and just something I've noted when I read over the report.
Thanks, Councillor, for the question, Councillor Potter, but just as the practicalities, there's no practical issue for us as far as term frame. So if you wanted to go rather than March, yeah, if you were going to change the date, well, without knowing the full background, I'll front that up. But yeah, 31st December, if you were going to change the date, you go to 30 June.
Yes.
Okay, so Councillor Shoemaker, do you want to move an amendment to that to change that date? Or
I'm just
sorry.
happy to leave that with
Yeah.
Councillor Potter.
Sorry,
and Councillor
yes,
Erkins, but yeah, I do agree. I think 30th of June is a suitable time frame.
Councillor Potter, you happy? You want to make an amendment to the motion?
Yes, I would, and thank you very much to Councillor Shoemaker for bringing this to our attention. It's a really good point. So, yeah, I'd like to make the amendment to change that date to the, what did you say, the 30th of June, 24. Yep, thank you.
Councillor Erkins, are you happy with the change?
Yeah, definitely. I think that gives more continuity of those people working through as well.
100%, and if I remember correctly, I think that might have been mentioned in that standing committee discussions when we had that. But anyway, we're here now. Okay, so we'll go to the officer's recommendation that the membership for the following members of the Art, Culture and Heritage Advisory Committee be extended until the 30th of June 2024. Go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. 17.2, Ringsfield House Advisory Committee. The resolution, the officer's recommendation, is that 1, that Ringsfield House be opened by appointment with tours being conducted by volunteers that have been inducted as per the volunteer process of the Visitor Information Centre, with reporting to the Visitor Enhancement Officer and the Tourism Officer. 2, that Ringsfield House be promoted as a community facility and venue and is open to hirers who wish to run community-led events. And 3, a stock take of current artefacts be completed and a future recommendation is made from the committee to reduce the number of artefacts. 4, that any volunteers wishing to participate in undertaking work at the house are inducted and managed by council, excluding those working for a hirer incorporated group. 5, an amendment is made to the 23-24 fees and charges for group tours of Ringsfield House for $5 per person. And 6, that the minutes of the July 2023 and August 2023 Ringsfield House Advisory Committee be received for information. Do we have a mover? Councillor Erkins, seconded Councillor Potter. Councillor Erkins, you got anything to say there? I know that you had a lady visit on the weekend that was quite happy to be there.
Yeah, we actually had a lady come up, Anna Smith came up. She was actually on her honeymoon, and her father was the architecture who did the renovations in the 90s. So it was really great to do that. She sent a thank you. I think I forwarded that through to all members. And just to tell you, it's really going great, the advisory committee. We do actually have, we've been having the grooving in the gardens there, and I believe we've stretched the funds to allow for us to go that through till December. And at our next one, we're going to be having an art show at Ringsfield House, and the beneficiary of that art show is to for Ukraine, the Ukraine, which is, you know, a fairly important thing to the people of Nanango, having had a local member of our community who lost his life working for Red Cross over there. So it's an opportunity for our community to come up and have a look, you know, a bit of a reboot for Ringsfield, an opportunity to dress up and come up, and it'll be great to see some of councillors there as well. Friday, I know everyone's got busy things, but it's Friday, Saturday and Sunday around over that lunchtime, so it'd be great to see some councillors and some staff, and for our community who haven't had an opportunity for some time to go up and have a look through Ringsfield House. I'm really looking forward to that, and, you know, happy to report that we're moving forward with our committee.
Yeah, no, well done to you, Councillor Erkins. I know you've worked very closely with the council staff and really pushing it hard in the community to try and get Ringsfield House back to its glory days. So well done to you, and hopefully we will all get there over that particular weekend and help you raise some funds for the Ukraine situation. Any more comments before we go to the votes? No, all good. Oh, Councillor Erkins.
I could tell you that the removal of some of the artefacts, and I know you get some. We did really think going through the house that in the hospital room there was really no need to have 5 bedpans on display, so we thought we might shift 4 of them and just leave 1 out.
Good point. I was one of the last children to be born in that particular facility, Miss Councillor Erkins, so I may have used those bedpans. Anyway, we'll get back to the serious stuff. We'll keep rocking. We're going really well. The officer's recommendation there is that that Ringsfield House be opened by appointment, with tours being conducted by volunteers that have been inducted as per the volunteer process of the Visitor Information Centre, with reporting to the Visitor Enhancement Officer and the Tourism Officer. 2, that Ringsfield House be promoted as a community facility and venue and is open to hirers who wish to run community-led events. 3, a stock take of current artefacts be completed and a future recommendation is made from the committee to reduce the number of artefacts. 4, that any volunteers wishing to participate in undertaking work at the house are inducted and managed by council, excluding those working for a hirer incorporated group. 5, an amendment is made to the 23-24 fees and charges for group tours of Ringsfield House for $5 per person. And 6, that the minutes of the July 2023 and August 2023 Ringsfield House Advisory Committee be received for information. We go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. 17.3, it's the Youth Engagement Hub in Kingaroy, and the officer's recommendation is that 1, the Coordinator of Community Development Officer liaise with the CTC Incorporated and Council's Regional Librarian and Youth Council to formulate a 12-month youth-focused program to commence in April 2024, and 2, to seek grant funding to deliver the program into the community. Do we have a mover? Councillor Potter, seconded Councillor Erkins. Comments? Anything? It's a good initiative. Go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. Okay, we now get on to 18, and these are questions on notice. And 18.1, the following question on notice was received by myself. Was the tender set to all real estate agents? And the response, I'm quite happy with that. Everyone else would have read that. So I'm happy to move that that be received. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Henshin. Go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. 18.2. This is the Kingaroy smoking restriction signage. And the following question on notice was received by Councillor Kirsty Shoemaker. The question, can you please provide an update about the progress of the following resolution that was adopted by Council at its November 22 general meeting, in particular when the signage may be installed and if this signage can also be installed in the Blackbutt CBD. And there's questions there. Councillor Shoemaker, are you happy with that response?
Yes, thank you. Really do appreciate the update. There had been quite a few business owners actually asking about it, and it was really great to go with GM Aaron and the team on Monday afternoon to do a walk through the Kingaroy CBD. We actually spoke to some of the local businesses who are really looking forward to that signage going up. Really grateful for council's work on this. So thank you very much. I was just mindful it had been some time since we'd discussed it, and I understand the laws have changed since then. So I think the timing is right to get that going. So thank you for the update.
General Manager Meehan, time frames, we spoke about this. When's the signage looking like being installed? Because I'm at the point, let's just get it done. Everybody's waiting for it. So when are we looking to get it installed, mate?
Yeah, through Acting Mayor. So one of the points in there is updated smoking laws that were introduced on the 1st of September. So we are going to go back to Queensland Health for new signage. There's an updated signs which are a lot more user-friendly to say that what you can and can't do. So as soon as we get those, we'll commence installation. If we can get them, we'll start in October. But our plan will be to walk through with individual divisional councillors through the towns and go through what's practical, and like we did this week with Councillor Shoemaker. So we'll go through and work with that. And also what we thought we would do is order some additional signs too and offer them to shop owners too if they want to display them on their windows as well, which will give them a free option. I just mark too, the signs are free from Queensland Health, so it doesn't cost us anything.
Good job, mate, and you've done a great job yourself and staff through that. And let's hope we can get them up sooner rather than later. Okay, go to the vote, I guess, on that one. Sorry, Councillor Shoemaker, you move that be accepted. Seconded. Councillor Duff, go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. All righty. 19, information section, we have none. We now move to 20 on the agenda. This is a confidential section, and the officer's recommendation that council considers the confidential reports listed below in a meeting closed to the public in accordance with section 254J of the Local Government Regulation 2012, 20.1, South Burnett Regional or SBRC Q 2223 135, purchase of PPE field uniforms. This matter is considered to be confidential under section 254JG of the local government regulation, and the council is satisfied that discussion of this matter in an open meeting would, on balance, be contrary to the public interest as it deals with negotiations relating to a commercial matter involving the local government for which a public discussion would be likely to prejudice the interests of the local government. And 20.2, consideration for remission on rates assessment 10166/80000/000. This matter is considered to be confidential under section 254JD of the local government regulation, and the council is satisfied that discussion of this matter in an open meeting would, on balance, be contrary to the public interest as it deals with rating concessions. Do we have a mover? Councillor Duff, seconded Councillor Henson. All those in favour? Thank you all very much. We'll now move into confidential. Okay, I would like to move that we come out now, out of confidential, back into our general meeting. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Duff, all those in favour? Unanimous, thank you. We go to 20.1 and I will hand over to the CEO to walk us through the process of this. I think we just go that the item, the officer's recommendation was the item be lifted from the table, but I'll follow your process, Mr. Sear.
Thanks, Acting Mayor. If we could just do, because it was left on the table, if we could just lift it from the table so we can deal with it, please. So that's a procedural.
Okay, so 20.1, we need a recommendation to lift it from the table. Do I have a mover? Councillor Henson, seconded Councillor Potter. All those in favour? Unanimous. Next step, Mr. CEO.
Okay, thanks, Acting Mayor. These ones are always a bit problematic with coming from a meeting that doesn't carry delegation and then ending up in a meeting with delegation. So given that there's further information which we'll deal with as the third section required, if the mover, the resolution once moved is owned by the meeting. So if the mover and the seconder of the one that was moved at the committee meeting being, I'm sorry, I don't imagine, Henson are comfortable with withdrawing the resolution, then we would resolve to withdraw the resolution. The meeting votes, and if it's carried, then that resolution is withdrawn.
Councillor Henson, hearing that?
They're happy with that, thank you.
Myself, yes. So we now...
Is the meeting happy to withdraw the resolution?
Okay, so is the meeting happy to withdraw the resolution? We go to the vote. Yes, unanimous.
And then I've just sent some very quick words to, we'll tidy up that once we get that in there. Withdraw the resolution. And just put 6-zip there at the minute, T, and yep, that's him. And then if we just, CEO be directed to bring back further information to report to council, or something along those lines, and then we'll bring back a further report with the extra information.
Okay, so the new motion or recommendation, is it recommendation? Yeah, the new recommendation moved by myself. Do we have a second? Councillor Henson, that the CEO through the procurement section to review the tender and bring a further report to council. Do we need any dates or anything around that, Mr. Sear?
Well, you can put, but we'll have it back to next month.
Yep.
So if you want to put the October.
At
October.
General.
Yep.
To October General. Yep. Excellent. Okay, so there's the new recommendation there, councillors, that the CEO through the procurement section to review the tender and bring a further report to the October General Council meeting. We go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. 20.2. It is the consideration for remission on rates. And... oh, there we go. The officer's recommendation is that the South Burnett Regional Council approve a general rate exemption effective from the 3rd of April 2023 for the RSL Kingaroy Memorandum Sub-Branch, Kingaroy Care for the Future Villa Unit Development, situated at Lot 26 to 28, SP 237285, Assessment 10166/80000/000. Do we have a mover? Councillor Potter, seconded Councillor Henson. Go to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. That brings us to a close for the general meeting for the month of September. Thank you all for your input. It was a very good meeting, and thanks to anybody that's still with us online. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you all later.